Greetings to all. Welcome to the Way to Live YouTube channel, your space for spiritual clarity, inner healing, and soul transformation. Today's video is inspired by a thoughtful question from one of our subscribers, Krishna. He asks, who is God actually? And where does God come from? Who created God? And all these questions. You see, if you truly reflect on this question, you will realize it is not a question about something outside of us, but about the very foundation of existence itself. What I received as a download from my higher dimensional beings is this: God is not just a person. God is not just a superpower, not even a separate being. God is the fundamental principle of existence itself. God is the fundamental principle of existence itself. Everything you see, everything you cannot see, every star, every stone, every soul are simply made up of that same principle, same fundamental principle. So what is that principle? It is self-awareness. It is consciousness. It is that inner reflection which says, I am. The very feeling of I exist within you, that is God. And God is infinite in nature. Because God is infinite, there are no boundaries. And there is no second thing to God. And there is nothing outside of God also. Even space and time are not outside of God. They are simply qualities that exist within God consciousness. So when you ask, where does God come from? The answer is simple. God doesn't come from anywhere. God always exists. Existence cannot have a non-existence. So there is no such thing called what exists before God. Existence is God. That is why we call it eternal. If you ask what was before God, the only answer is before self-awareness. It always exists, but if you ask what was before God, then the only answer is before self-awareness. And what is after God? The only answer is self-awareness. That's all. There is only one eternal moment in existence when God became aware of himself. When God realized his own self-awareness. That moment is timeless. It is eternal now. So for existence, there is only one moment now. One eternal moment. In that moment, all creations were born, not separate things, but reflections of the one. It is like standing in a room filled with infinite mirrors. Every mirror reflects you in different angles, in different perspectives. That is how creation reflects God back to himself. That is how God realizes he's the only one that exists. That's how he realizes he's infinite. So everything is conscious of itself. Even the stone you see on the road, it has its own way of experiencing itself. Awareness can differ from creation to creation. It differs depending on the vibration, frequency, and dimension. But nothing is unconscious, so to speak. Consciousness cannot be unconscious. That is why everything is alive in its own way. That could be very alien, that could be very different, that could be beyond our comprehension. But everything is made out of that one consciousness. So how did God realize himself? Through a resonance within himself. When the one compared itself with the other, duality was born. Through duality, creation came alive. You, me, and every being, all souls. Our souls also became aware of ourselves in that eternal moment of God's self-realization. Each of us carries a unique vibrational signature frequency, yet all are made of the same consciousness. That is why we exist forever, because consciousness never ends. So let us rewind the highest perspective. So who is God? God is everything. God is infinite. God is all that is. There is no second thing apart from God. You and I are simply God expressing itself in different vibrational frequencies. We may have forgotten it because of our current state of being, current vibrational frequency. From the human perspective, we say me and God as if they are separate. But when we raise our vibration to the highest frequency or at the highest level of our frequency, we realize we are nothing but God. All creation, all dimensions, all planes of existence are simply different frequencies of the same fundamental principle, same infinite consciousness. So God has no birth, God has no death, God simply is. And when we feel the quiet truth of I am within you, that is God reflecting through you. Who is God? Consciousness, self-awareness, infinity. And where does he come from? He comes from nowhere, because he is, always was, and always will be. God is not outside of you. God is you. God is all. With this, I would like to conclude this video. I hope I have explained what is God, who is God, from a fundamental basis, and I hope it is very clear to you. If you have any other questions about God, please feel free to let me know. It will be my pleasure to share my wisdom. So until then, we'll meet in the next video. Until then, stay empowered, be blessed, and thank you so much for your time and patience. Bye-bye.